In this video, I'll be opening a Reflections booster pack. Nowadays, these are known as Reflections 1, because later on they came out with two more Reflections sets. This came out in the late 90s, and it had featured foil cards from the first six sets. So Premier, A New Hope, Hoth, Dagobah, Cloud City, Jabba's Palace, and Special Edition. I guess that makes 7 sets. So this has potential for a lot of good cards in here. Vader's, Luke's, Leia's, Han's, Obi-Wan's. Basically, almost all of the best main character cards from the first sets had a foil version in these packs. And it has 18 cards. We're guaranteed to get a foil, and the rest of the cards are kind of a random mix from the initial sets. So we'll get this open and see what's in here. 2 ultra rares are possible, a Luke and a Vader. So we'll see if we'll get one of those in here. I've opened a lot of these over the years. I probably have about 15 to 20 empty boxes in my closet. These used to be very inexpensive. You could buy a whole box for, well, I think probably when the game went out of print it was like $25, but I thought a few years ago a case for around $80 a box. I thought that was pretty cheap. Okay, so we'll start with the Special Edition cards, Combat Cloud Car, Sand Trooper, so it looks like we're getting some fixed cards here. Lots of times when you get the fixed cards in these, since the fixed cards came from the Special Edition starter deck, so you'd often get 2 Special Edition rares in a row because that's how they had the starter decks printed up, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that this time. Jabba's Palace, so looks like we're moving backwards, so there's a rare card. Pretty good if you're playing a musician deck to retrieve some force. Pretty good uncommon to get. That was the first starting interrupt Twi'lek Advisor. Torture. Captive Fury, so some fairly decent uncommons. That's not our foil. Okay, so now we're into Premier. A lot less game text on Premier cards than earlier sets. Talon Roll, a couple whiteboard Premier cards, and I think our foil is probably right after this macro scan. It is a droid, okay, R2. So it's a very rare foil, so there are 3 levels of rarity, very rare, super rare, and ultra rare. And yeah, he's a main character, so it's hard to be dissatisfied with that, and it looks pretty cool too. A lot of the cards that they chose as foils in this set were more because they looked cool than actually being good, but a lot of them were both. Some that looked cool might have been like slip sliding away, but that wasn't a very useful card. And I think they made a foil of the Reflection card just kind of as a joke, because it is the Reflection set. So Reflection was Leia sitting in the Falcon thinking about things after the Battle of Hoth. A Tauntaun, and one with Do or Do Not. So we got 1 rare and a decent foil, so that's not too bad of a pack. In my next video, I'll be opening a Reflections 2 pack, which has some premium cards in it in addition to the foil, and maybe a couple rares if we're lucky. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.